Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your May 2023 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out more than you will ever know, especially because I had to take that break to take care of my ill family members. And you guys liking, commenting, subscribing is getting me seen again by the YouTube algorithm gods, which I have fallen out of favor with. So, thank you so much for liking, again, commenting, and subscribing. You guys are just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. And I'd like to apologize for my voice. I am suffering from really bad allergies right now, so do bear with me. All right, now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. We have the Ace of Wands, which is a very interesting card to be told to be mindful of, because the Ace of Wands is a blessing from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, of moving us forward. But is this somebody else's blessing? Is this a sense that we are comparing ourselves to somebody else and saying, I need to move forward this way, or I need to be just like that, or this is illuminating them. And so I want that type of recognition, or I want that type of a power or grace or whatever in my life, not in a bad way. I'm not saying this at all. And Spirit is saying this at all in a bad way. This is just in a very human way, where it's like, oh, if that's working for them, that's what I should be doing. And Spirit's like, no, 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 be you. Let your light shine. There's a real sense here of looking at other people's talents and other people's gifts and trying to figure out where ours are, because no matter where we are in our journey of life, figuring out our gifts and how they are evolving and how they are becoming can be quite tricky. So here, it's just a real sense of embracing our own light and embracing our own joys, even if that doesn't seem to be as cool or as relevant or as whatever as somebody else's. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And here we have peace reverse. So Spirit is saying be very aware that we need to prioritize our peace. And we might actually find it a little bit difficult to be working towards our peace, working towards our harmony. It can be everybody else's peace matters, everybody else's harmony matters, but not ours. And Spirit's like, why? So here, just be aware. Just be aware of this energy during this time, that peace is astoundingly important to you. Astoundingly. And it's not something that we're getting. We can even see it in our sleep. We might not be sleeping enough, or we could be really stressed, so it's hard to fall asleep, but we can get good quality sleep when we are asleep, but it's not long enough, and it goes on and on and on, where our peace is being disturbed. So just be aware. Be aware of centering yourself and calming the waters. We can do this through meditation, which is highly beneficial. I have Spring Forest Qigong linked in the description box below, which is free. It's on YouTube here. And it's just really lovely. I really like doing it. So I would highly recommend you guys check it out. I get no kickbacks from anything, so don't think I do. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. I just like sharing with you guys what works for me or what I find, highly beneficial. It's just fun. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. So it's really interesting here is that we have the Ace of Wands here coming through, right? And we are represented by the wands in the minor arcana. So as much as we have to be aware of looking at other people's light shining, other people's joy, other people's power coming through and their gifts and saying, oh, why isn't that me? We have our own gifts that are coming through during this time. And this is really important because this is the millionaire maker moon, right? This is a time where we have the Jupiter squared Pluto aspect, which is the most profound aspect during this moon. And this aspect really intensifies our drive to get ahead in life. Success, power, influence, they become our driving words. And astrologers call this the millionaire maker, you know? But what we have to be mindful of is, as driven as we can be, this can also be the crippling debt maker. It's kind of like gambling, right? I'll just, go one more round. I'll try one more time. And Spirit's really saying here, look at your gifts, not everybody else's gifts. Okay? Look at your gifts. It might not mean that we make millions. Okay? So that can be a bit misleading when astrologers say this. But it means that we are building wealth, positivity, and bounty in our existence, meaning we're feeling fulfilled. And isn't that something? In a world where even people who have zillions of dollars, more money they could ever spend in a lifetime, are always seeking the next high. They're always seeking the next big thrill, the next thing to bring satisfaction into their lives. Wouldn't it be nice just to be satisfied with our existence and why we're here and who we are? And so that's the energy that's coming in. We need to be mindful and careful, though, of the crippling debt maker. The sense of, well, I have to keep on trying. I have to keep up with the Joneses, the Kardashians, or whomever, type of thing to go after what I want, to get what I think will make me happy. Instead of connecting inwardly with ourselves and saying, what is it that I like? What is it that's me, not everybody else, without saying, oh my gosh, that's so Sagittarius. This moon is in 28 degrees 25 of Taurus. And Taurus is the sign of stability and growth. And this is a time where stability and growth are so important. We have 5 planets in Taurus. We have Jupiter, we have Mercury, we have Uranus, we have the moon, we have the sun, and we ourselves, Sagittarius, are lucky enough to be ruled by Jupiter. I mean, Jupiter is such a cool planet. It amplifies anything that it's in, right? So Jupiter squared Pluto, it amplifies Pluto. Pluto can bring forward secrets. Pluto can be a very intense sign. It can make or break people, right? We also have Mars squared Jupiter, right? Jupiter again coming in. So we feel this more than others do. Just as we feel the millionaire maker more than others do. We can be astoundingly driven. We can also find that certain ideas, certain things are falling away. And we're like, oh, why not this? Why not that? Why not try this? Why not embrace that? Like, why not look at it this way? Or why not look at it that way? Or we have these really interesting conversation or these really interesting ideas start coming forward. And it's like, oh, was I looking at this wrong the whole entire time? So don't be surprised here, Sagittarius, if you're like, oh, man, I was, it's kind of like you want to stomp your feet like a little child and be like, oh man, I wasted all this time. Or, oh, I was doing this just slightly wrong, just slightly off. And this is where I want to stand. So when Mars squared Jupiter, this really helps us to start, new projects, to take new risks for long-term success. That's where the Ace of Wands comes in. It's like, look at your long-term success. We can get really kind of caught up with the justice right here, justice reversed. We're trying to be fair and just to everyone, or saying, you know what, screw it. I'm going to get ahead, which is kind of what the Mars squared Jupiter aspect can do. We can become very ready for battle, which we see here with the 7 of Wands. So just be aware of this, that we can become very ready for battle. We can become very intense. We're really looking at things as kind of like in terms of long-term success. How can I be the most successful, the most prosperous for the longest period of time? How do I keep on pushing me forward? So being aware of that is going to be very important. We need to be careful of the fights that we choose. We need to be careful during this time. It's not like ominously, hit my mic. It's not ominously that we need to be careful, but it's like we just need to be mindful of what we're pouring our energy into because we shine so bright. So we can either be helping everybody else out, shining other people brighter and then they're already shining, or we can already start to say, you know what, I matter. I can be just me. And we have a tendency during this time not to follow the balance. This is also negative Libra energy. So if you have Libra energy in our chart, it can make us overly concerned with how everybody else is feeling. Are they just, are they fair, are they balanced, type of thing, instead of saying, oh, this is what I need to be just, fair, and balanced, and looking at that. We can also, I just see this as really getting caught up in the nitty gritty. It's kind of like we want to please everyone. Everybody has to be happy. And that's a way to get nothing started, nothing moving, because somebody's always going to be complaining. So being aware of that is going to be important. We have to be careful of the battles that we choose during this time, because we're going to put so much of our energy into everything that we do that we don't need to be pouring it into everything. We need to be mindful and careful and, determined. Now, Uranus, which is the planet of brilliant new ideas, of innovation, of originality, which rules Aquarius. So if you have Aquarius energy, I'm seeing somebody here with strong Aquarius links, and that's also with the Knight of Swords coming in, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So be aware of that, Sagittarius, that this aspect here is at the midway point between Mercury and the moon, which has us really inspired to have wonderful new ideas, and to start verbalizing them, to look at our future, to say, what do I want? What's different? Like, how do I open up these doors? So with, excuse me, with the Knight of Swords crowning all of this, again, if we have air sign energy in our chart, we're going to be utilizing it a lot. We're going after what we desire. We're going after what we want. The Knight of Swords is the hero of the story. It's that white knight in Snow White. No, not well, Snow White, but I always see it in Sleeping Beauty. The part, or the prince, the part of the story where you slay the dragon, you cut through the poison, you ascend your consciousness, right? And you awaken a part of yourself that has been slumbering. And this is important. We're awakening a part of ourselves, a sacred feminine part that we might have put to slumber. We might have said, oh, what's the point of you? And this isn't saying that this is only for women. This reading is not only for women. This reading is for everyone who is awakening a part of them that they think isn't as valuable as the fierceness, as the, go-getter, as the, I'm going to accomplish and I'm going to win and I'm going to, go after XYZ. Gentler things are important. The kindness, the compassion, the time, the effort, the calmness that we look at and we can think of as traditional quote unquote feminine traits, which I mean, or the traits that we really idolize in Mother Nature, the nurturing of the food, the growing of the plants, the growing of, the trees, everything like that type of deal. And we're not talking about the tidal waves, and we're not talking about the hurricanes and the blizzards and all those things that are fierce and overwhelming. But we're combining them all together. And we're saying, this is who I am. I'm awakening these parts of me to be a full aspect of myself. And always the maiden that's awoken is, a maiden and beautiful and whatever our ideal is. And here we're waking up the ideal within ourselves. The part of us that says, well, why can't I try it? Why can't I do this? My voice isn't, drowned out. I matter. And that's us moving forward. We have to be mindful, always with the Knight of Swords, to not be overly brash and just kind of like any movement forward is good movement. So no matter what, I'm going to go with it. So just be aware of this. But we really are becoming the heroes of our story and seeing ourselves. And that's a huge thing, because if you don't see you, how the heck is anybody else supposed to? Embrace your power. Embrace your fire and your passion and your desire. You're much more linked to the earth. Okay? Air sign energy, water sign energies, not as linked to the earth, which sounds interesting to say, but it's true. They have a more spiritual aspect to them. Fire sign energies. Okay, we need to link ourselves to the earth and say, what am I physically doing to let my power, my prowess show? When we have a lot of fire in us, we need movement. Exercise can be absolutely beneficial to us, but that's also why a movement meditation would be something we're more inclined to do, something we're more inclined to utilize, to focus us, to hone us. And that's why I say, Qigong, that's linked in the description box below. But here, we also need to be mindful of not being so just that we lose all justice, right? That all of a sudden we lose sight of our goals. And it brings us to the Ace of Pentacles. Right now, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a seed, right? This new moon in Taurus is a seed planter. And we can not be interested right now in planting the seeds. And Spirit's warning us, because this is upside down, plant the seeds. Plant the seeds and embrace the harvest. Embrace the harvest that will come. But there's something here where we need to slow things down and we need to embrace our own passion and not be worried with everything else and everyone else, finding our balance, because there is something about us right now, Sagittarius, that is out of balance. Once we have that imbalance, once we see ourselves, we plant our prosperity, we see what it is that we desire, and we move ourselves forward. But this wealth, okay, the wealth that this new moon is bringing, that will go from new moon to new moon, we can find it a little bit overwhelming to utilize right now. Or we need to step back and gather up the seeds and then kind of think like, well, where do I want to plant this? And how do I want to do this? And, or even like, do I want a flower garden or a vegetable garden? What is it that I desire? And then we slowly start moving forward. We're going to slowly start moving towards what we want, what we need, and where we need to be for ourselves. With the Seven of Wands, this is our warning. You know, we can spend a lot of our energy fighting. And that's just going to be wasting our energy. It's going to be like running in place. Where does it get you? It gets you tired, sure, but where does it get you? So here, be mindful. Be mindful of the battles you're fighting. Be mindful of, the people whose energy, you're putting your energy up against, because people love to fight. And it's just going to waste a lot of your time and a lot of your effort. Yes, stand up for what you believe in. Yes, don't be bullied. Don't be a rug for people to walk on. But, look at what you want and focus on you. And let them chatter. Let them chatter. Let them chatter away. I mean, it really, yeah. I want to say it really doesn't matter what they say. As long as you go after your success, as long as you go after what you want, they can think whatever the heck they want to think about you. What is it, the saying? What other people think of me is none of my business. That's really what Spirit is saying here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. I'm so sorry. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Yeah, guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, so what's really funny is that a strong Aries energy comes forward, right? And that's that energy, that aspect of Mars squared Jupiter, right? Mars rules Aries. Aries is another word for Mars, right? The god of war. So here with the Seven of Wands, we really do have that aspect in us to fight. We really do. And we kind of like a good fight. We like something right now to get a little bit riled up about. Okay, so just be aware about that with ourselves, that can really be wasting our energy from this new moon to the next new moon coming in. With the Knight of Swords, okay, sword energy is also Gemini energy. And we have here the full moon in Gemini, and it says the answers you need are coming. Purity, the purity of your intention, the idea that when you're going after what you want, you're not thinking about everybody else. It's not how I can please everybody else or how I can help everybody else. It's a little bit more selfish. It's like the purity of my intention for me moving forward and the reason why I was put on this earth, which sounds rather grandiose to state like that. But it's like, why am I here? Which is, kind of an abstract, kind of, concept that we all go through that crisis of like, why am I here? But the energy that we're moving forward in now is like, right now, in this moment, what is my purpose? What do I need to do? And if it's like clean the house and put away the laundry, okay, sure, let's do that. If it's getting the work done and, getting things in on time, yeah, let's do that. But let's look at the tasks that we have right now to get completed and move forward with a purity of purpose. Because as we do so, it's also going to be, okay, how do I utilize my creativity? How do I utilize what I desire? There's something here about we're gathering this all together and we're holding it. Because here it says, it's time to take action with the new moon in Aries, but it's reverse. So it's time to pause. And this is wisdom. It's time to gather our wisdom as we're gathering up our passion and our desire. So yes, we're moving forward during this time. We're gathering up a lot of knowledge. We're speaking our mind. We're going after what we want. We are, again, it's not being just to everyone. It's really sitting there and saying, I'm finding my voice. I'm finding what I desire. I'm embracing what I want for myself. If it offends you, I apologize. But, it's kind of like sorry, not sorry. It's like, but I have to live for me. I can't live for you. That's what you're doing, right? So here, It's time to take action is on pause, where we gather up our wisdom, we gather up what we desire, and we balance ourselves. Because there's a strength that comes when we're not worried about being just and fair and, one might even dare to say politically correct to everybody. Make sure that we step on nobody's toes, everybody's just harmonized, because it doesn't work. That we sit there and say, this is me, warts and all, right? This is me. I love me. I'm connecting with me. And that's what matters. And so here we're seeing our path lead us in a direction, to a portal in the sky on this crickety ladder where the steps or excuse me, rungs aren't even. And it says balance spirituality and practicality. Meditate, connect, see how you are ascending, and ascend. Because this is a time where we ascend, where we embrace a different power than we expected, where we embrace more than what we knew we could. There's almost like there was a limitation bubble around us, and we're popping it. But we're popping it, and I want to say it's by not being so polite, not being so kind. But I mean, I'm all one for kindness. I'm all one for being polite. I think there are, guidelines, but to, interactions with people. But it's not saying that I have to stop being me in order to tend to everybody else's need, and mine don't matter. If we need to be a little bit more strong within ourselves or, sure of ourselves, that's what we need to be. And then it says here, a fiery climax approaches. Yes, because we're taking a stand with ourselves. We're bringing to fruition the prosperity that has been on pause. And we're saying, you know what? I'm done with it being on pause. It's time to bring in the wealth. It's time to bring in the prosperity. It's time to bring in the abundance. And that's why this moon, and the time even after this moon, and even for the next, oh my gosh, 6 months, we're going to really see a time where we're all a little bit more feisty and we're not so polite or willing to, not say what we think type of thing, which I mean, sounds like a funny thing to say because everybody's yelling their opinions all the time. But it's like, no, but this is what I want for me. And this is what I need to say for me. And it's just in our own space, in our own world. It's not like we're going to be out there on a grand scale, yelling at everybody or, doing anything like that. It's like, no, this is what I need for me. You're very close to achieving your goals. This is reverse. We don't feel that way. Now, resilience, we feel like we're not that resilient. We don't see that we're carrying the earth tree on our back, this life tree, this sense of our desires, our wants, our needs, like where to plant this, how to grow. We're not seeing that we're carrying all of this on our backs. We're thinking, well, I'm not resilient. I'm not achieving my goals. So it makes us a little ornery. It makes us feel like I have to be a little bit scrappy. I have to fight for this. I have to go after this. And what we have to do is just step back and say, I really am carrying a really big burden that right now I'm letting go of because I don't want to carry it anymore. It's too much for me. I'm achieving my goals, even if I feel like I'm not. Because so often in life, when we're living moments, we feel like we're not getting anywhere. We're like, why am I staying still? And then when we look back, it's like, wow, look how far I came. Look how far I got there. Like, look how much I achieved. Look how much I walked through. Look at all the muck and the mire and the ugliness that I had to withstand to get to where I am now. Let us be proud of ourselves. Because really what this is saying is that we're done shoving ourselves down. Jupiter is embracing a place of power. Sagittarius, we are ruled by Jupiter. We ourselves are embracing a place of power in our lives. It starts with peace. It starts with harmony. It starts with balance. And it starts with saying, this is me. Whether we think it's, a little bit boring or, not as, maybe avant-garde as we want it to be or, rabble-rousing or whatever. This is me. And there needs to be a peace with that. There needs to be. Because that's a powerful thing to be at peace with ourselves. Because that's a powerful energy to move forward in the world with. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Five of Cups. Change your mind, change your life. We're not really going to want to change our mind that much, and yet we're moving towards such a powerful, powerful, powerful change. See the Two of Cups standing behind you. See the healing, beautiful love. This is going to be difficult, but anything worth having is difficult. Our subconscious spirit message is manifest reversed. Taurus energy is the time to manifest. Subconsciously, we're like, no, really, what can my mind do? I've said I wanted this, 18 million zillion times. It hasn't happened. No, this is a time where we really have the power to break certain boundaries that we didn't even know were around us. We're just shattering, our own expectations and stepping out in a very powerful way because we're seeing ourselves. This is the time to manifest. This is the time to say, oh, this is what I want. This is what I desire. This is what I need to do. And it's going to start so little that it's not going to seem like anything, but it'll grow and grow and grow. Our subconscious tarot message is the Ace of Cups reversed. Our cup isn't full, it's reversed. I love the saying, you need a gallon to fill a cup, because you do. Because if you only have a cup and you fill somebody else's cup, well, you don't have a cup anymore. So here, there is this need to heal and to connect and to release a lot of the negative energy, a lot of the negative emotions, a lot of the guilt that we're carrying around. It's not serving us. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message, which says surrender to the divine. We're going to see this stepping into our power of surrendering, to the divine and what our purpose is, from this new moon to the full moon. And then we have assessing. We're not really assessing. We're not looking at the bigger picture. So make sure to step back and look at the bigger picture of what we want and taking practical steps, practical yet radical steps in order to get to where we want to be and where we need to be for us. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. Have a blessed moon and God bless. Bye.